Today's video is our look ahead towards next week. We'll have a bit of a brief chat about last week, look at next week, try and find some more winners for us all and all that good stuff. Let's go. What is the crack, everyone? Welcome back to Buy, Hold, Sell, and I hope, of course, you're all well. These videos don't normally do particularly great in the algorithm. There's no real way for me to attract viewers because I'm not talking about specific stock. I'm just generally talking about the markets, but I appreciate all my dedicated subscribers that do watch these videos every week. I'm trying to keep growing this side of things. I enjoy talking about the general markets, and I think a lot of people that do watch the videos get a lot out of it. So let's see, first off, how last week rolled up. Crazy week of earnings. We've seen huge drops in the likes of Facebook, went to absolute gape time, nearly 30% down on the next day. I actually jumped in on the very bottom of the dip, and I brought that to my Discord members. Jumped right in, we got it up about 1.5%, got a bit more cocky, threw more money in it, and it kind of got burnt and kind of got out with a bit of a slight gape. But that's just the game. I thought maybe it would get a bit more of a bounce and it would maybe run a wee bit that day. It didn't, and it's just one of those ones. Again, trying to use the R chart, it just didn't play out, but that's okay. It is what it is. Do I think Facebook is going to bounce back? Yes, but in the short term, no. It could. It's got a big metaverse play. I'm very bullish on the metaverse, but people in the Discord and on the channel that have watched it will know that I'm just taking a step back. I think there's a lot of uncertainty out there without opening up a long-term hole for the metaverse. I think that's something that is going to be the future and is getting bigger and better. And as I've said before, you know, I've got my VR headset. I do see huge benefits and amazing things that you could do with that. However, it's a long way away. Zuckerberg came out saying about, you know, a lot of outlay needed, and the other stuff within Facebook I'm just not a real big fan of, and I think it's going to be hurting. We predicted on the channel the ripple effect of small businesses perhaps getting tightened up on their loans and how all the interest rates would affect them. It obviously affects them that they can't do more advertising, and advertising is going to affect the big boys. So not surprising seeing the Facebook results go the way that they did. We also had Snapchat shooting up nearly 50% on the back of their earnings. First time that they've made revenue, although they did have a huge sell-off leading down. So it was kind of, you know, at best getting some of the money back. It was still a hell of a gaping they've taken. And just like Amazon, they also smashed earnings, but they had a 9% sell-off the day before, and then the next day it rose up like 15%, sort of dripped down about 10. So, you know, you weren't even getting your money back, you lost the next day. So you have to kind of look at it always that way. As a whole, you kind of go, okay, well, this is great, but you know, if you look at actually what's happened the last month, it's a drop in the ocean. Out of all the earnings that I've played, I'd have to say that this has probably been one of the most volatile ones. Incredible high rises, high drops. And that is why we don't play earnings on this channel, because it is highly volatile. Did a video actually midweek last week just to give you an update, because there were so many moving parts. I did say, and the last video was on the February the 1st, and I always try to do, you know, be honest and full disclosure. 1st of February, we opened up our Tesla position in and around $890. Currently, we're sitting at $923. So we're happy enough with that. We're up about $30. I rolled the dice of holding it over the weekend as well. Again, and I'll get into why I did that in a moment, but I held the money in over 4:30 on Friday, and thankfully I did, because I have seen since about 4:30 on Friday, we have seen sort of around 3%. Times that up, you're getting about 10% back on that. So I'm delighted with Tesla's play. Day chart, if we could talk about NIO then, on the 1st of February, I did say that we had been opening up a position day prior. So currently as it stands, we are up about 7%, but it's been a bit choppy. Didn't add to the position. I don't have the same conviction, but I just look at that and I go, that's a bit of a steal. So I just feel like you need to. And that's the thing, a lot of these stocks right now, they're just so friggin' cheap that you just have the urge to buy them. Still got about 50% of cash ready to roll at any time, but I just had to have a wee nibble at a few things. Let's just talk about the SPY. I've cleared off all my other indicators. This is the 200-day moving average. This is the one that I said if we fall below, we're going to gape. And as you can see, we fell below. The only day that we actually fell below properly as a candlestick was this. The 25th of January was the only one, but it was just so close. You would give another day, and when the next day we had a wick in, the next day we had the wick touch, the next day was green wick tiny touch, and we've just went up. We still really haven't made a decision. It's still very choppy and still very undecided. Our MACD looks to be showing more strength though. Our SI is very flat. Pull on our Bollinger Bands is right in the middle. So what's the predictions for the week ahead? Look, it is so volatile, it is very hard to know, but I'm in the camp of, we've kind of got a bit of a run now until sort of March time. We've got the big boy earnings out of the way. If we look back at the sort of the 200-day moving average, once we've kind of fell down and we started going green, we kind of rid it up. And that's kind of where we're at now. So you could see it run. You could see it run. Do I think that there's a lot more pain in the game? I do. I just look at all the top line figures and I just go, they haven't got a control of this. You know, we look at the national debt calculator, I see we've just crossed over $30 trillion of debt. Each person owes about 240,000. It's just gone out of control. I just look at all of this, I look at just the general sentiment, and I just go, it kind of has to probably end. We've got the risk of war. A lot of people saying the war is being created as a solution to this problem. I don't know, it's crazy. I'm just going to trade carefully. I'm just going to ride momentum and we'll just see where it is. I'm keeping a lot of cash in and out of swing trades. I have been using a lot of stop losses. Some stop losses have not been great for me. For example, Premier African Minerals, this has had a great week. Let's just talk about this for a moment. We have seen highs and lows of around 40%. Phenomenal gains on the week. Premier African Minerals had 9%. A lot of excitement and horn about that. I'm delighted about that. We've also got Coda Minerals this month. Done a video, I've loaded it up. It's coming out tomorrow on Premier African Minerals. Make sure to like, subscribe, grow the channel, get involved in this because this could be a big riser this month. A further big riser than what it's already been. But this is a prime example. I got back into profit on this, was up about 7%. I hit my stop loss well below just to protect myself because I'm so nervy of the market, and it just triggered it, went off and went back up, and then I'm going, right, okay, now what do I do? So I ended up just actually buying back in at the same price again, but when you take away the spreads, I actually kind of a bit worse off for it. So that was some trade, but I don't mind. I want to set my stop losses, and sometimes, more times than not, your stop loss will go off, you'll get your money out, the price will fall lower and you can average in. Markets are very unnervy, that's the way I like to do, but if you look at the volume here, 1 billion, that is incredible. Amount. Premier Africa is 1 billion, the most traded volume out of all my stocks, and I have Facebook, all the big boys, you know, they're all there, like, and there's a lot of volatility all week, so that's very interesting. Now we're looking at MasterCard. If we pull up my trading strategy, by the way, you get all access to all of this if you join the course. This pretty much gives you all the answers you need. So we jumped in on this the day prior, did the update. We are currently up by 6% on that trade. Still watching that carefully. Just like the other video, I've got my stop loss set by 4% down. So I will be cashing out minimum 2% profit on the MasterCard, but I will continue adjusting to suit. Visa, surprise, surprise, you can probably guess Visa is going to be in a similar vein. It is in a similar vein. Again, jumped in on the 31st, rolled it up, or just roughly about there. Again, similar kind of gains. They're pretty much the same stock, but it's good just to have the money spread across them. Why not minimize the risk? Another stock that I'm looking to open a position in this week is Dollar Tree. Now, Dollar Tree doesn't look particularly hot on the charts. It doesn't look terrible on the charts. We do have earnings coming out on the 2nd of March as well, but the reason I'm opening up a position on this is because if I am right in what I'm saying about a recession potentially being on the cards this year, and when I say this year, we've still got another 11 months of the year, so it's a long hold. I looked at 2008 recession. Dollar Tree performed over 100% that year. I just feel that if there's a recession, people are trying to save money, trying to cut corners. They'll go to places like Dollar Tree, dollar stores to try and save money, and that's why these things do well in recession. So I'm just sort of as a hedge. That reminds me, my overhead, the S&P, I did have two positions going. I had a long and a short. The reason I had a long, as I said on the first, was because I was conscious that we looked like we were going to go bullish, but I didn't want to just close out the short just yet. So I had a long position open then, and they were counteracting each other. So my top line balance was virtually staying the same. Then we rolled it up, we rolled up, we rolled up. And then on Friday, I just made the call because we did pull back and I was able to close it out at less of a loss, still a loss, but it was a hedge. I'm content. I'm just going to roll the dice that I believe this week potentially will be a bullish week over the course of it. A lot of people saying, you know, we've seen the bottom, we're going to have a good rise back. I don't really know the answer, but I'm willing to roll the dice that we will have a good time. Markets can't continually go down, and a lot of these growth stocks are really priced for bankruptcy. They're priced for a jump. So let's just have a look. Fresh inflation data could fuel further market volatility in the week ahead. Inflation data is focused in the coming weeks after stunning jump in January jobs triggered speculation the Fed could be more aggressive about raising interest rates. The consumer price index is reported on Thursday, and the headline number is expected 7.2%, the hottest since 1982. There is also dozens of big earnings: Coca-Cola, Walt Disney, and Pfizer. Coca-Cola is doing well. We talked about Coca-Cola potentially being one that we could look at as a swing trade. I'm not against it, but we did have Pepsi as well that I talked about. And the reason these ones I like, not only are they above all the averages, they're looking strong. And these could be a potential swing trade. I might just wait to get the earnings out of the way for Coca-Cola because it could be a bit volatile, but I suspect that they'll do well. They're in everything. They're in all your restaurants, all the supermarkets. They have all their growth. They have all their exposure done. Any inflationary, any issues, all they have to do is knock 5 cents, 5p onto a bottle of Coke or Pepsi, and their risk and their inflationary, all the profit margins are adjusted and better. And they have historically proven, stocks like this of similar nature have proven to do well in a recession. So I'm liking this and keeping an eye on these guys. Pretty much the week ahead for me. Again, just going to sit tight, not going to be too nervy either though. I'm going to be willing to throw down the cash. As soon as half two opens, I'm going to have a look and see, and I might be throwing money into the Pepsi, might throw more money into the MasterCard, might throw a hell of a lot more into Tesla. Those are my stocks. The beaten down ones, there's so many beaten down ones on the watch list. The likes of Argo, what way is Bitcoin gonna go? We'll just have a quick look at Bitcoin. We got up to 42,000. I actually closed out a small swing position. I brought in around 35 and we swung it up till here just with the market sentiment. I thought maybe over the weekend we'll get a bit more. So last night at 42, I closed out a small position and that was it. Still quite a lot in it, still massively down, about 30 to 50, depending on how I've got a lot of different buys. But you know, anywhere from about 25 to 50% down on my crypto trades. You know the situation, it doesn't change. I'm waiting until we get over 50 and build support over 50 before I buy any more. That is the video. If you like this, please like, subscribe, help me grow the channel. Appreciate everybody if you're interested in learning how to trade. There is the course down there. You can get access to the Discord as well. Also on a weekly basis during these videos, I am allowing anyone to comment down below, like and subscribe to the channel with a chance to get access for free to the trading course. If you're interested, do that comment down below and just say, hey, pick me. Something like that would be good, and I'll catch you in the next trade and the next video. Enjoy your day, the rest of your weekend. Watch out tomorrow for the Premier African Minerals video. I'll catch you then. Peace.
Yeah.
Coincidence.
Yeah.
Coincidence.
Something that happens by chance, I think not.